was on Jeff's Models for little while, and then I did a bunch of other stuff, and we've kind of been here ever since, just kind of having a good time being naked.
Having a good time being naked. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah, I'm just having a good time being naked.
So that is awesome. That is awesome. So I understand that you have a lot going on. What is the latest with you, my friend?
Well, I took a 2-year break. Yeah, I think a lot of us did because of the pandemic. And then I'm back. I'm shooting all my own content pretty much, which is really, really exciting. I have full creative control over everything. I'm the best of what I'm doing. I'm heading out to Vegas in a couple of weeks. I'm excited to go to Vegas and just have a good time. And, obviously we'll get into award show season. You'll see us out at events and things like that. So I'm just going to, be naked and naughty and have some fun.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. So, what got you in besides the being a My Free Cams girl and all that? What got you into that that part of it, the My Free Cams stuff?
Actually, I've always been kind of a naughty girl, and I was actually married for a little while when I was younger. I got married very young. And then I got divorced and I always was in love with porn. I love 70s and 80s porn girls. Like, I just absolutely idolize beautiful looking women with great hair and makeup and lingerie, the fishnets. I absolutely love it. So when I was married, my ex-husband was like, no freaking way. So the second that the ink was dry on those divorce papers, I was ready to get out there.
That is tremendous. That is
so
tremendous.
Like, after, I moved into my own apartment, and, I had bills to pay, and, I signed up to be a My Free Cams girl, and the rest is kind of history after that.
That is awesome. So if people want, if people want to find you on Twitter, how do they do that exactly?
MZ Danni Dawson. I have a brand new Twitter account. During the pandemic, I took my Twitter down, everything but my Pornhub, which is still very, very alive and well. And I thank all of you gentlemen.
Still very alive and well.
Yeah, when I went through like a lot of people, I went through a huge transition during the pandemic. I think we were all just kind of in a weird spot, right? That we had never been in, as a community and as a country. And, I lived like my whole life in, California. I packed up everything. I moved to the East Coast, and, I was like, well, maybe I'll take a little break because I don't know kind of what direction that we're going. And, I took my Twitter down and everything. So I have a fresh Twitter account, it's quickly, it's starting to grow again. And I appreciate all of that. But you can definitely find me on Twitter at MZ Danni Dawson. It's also my Instagram handle as well. So we tried to keep it all, organic.
So how have you been able to stay alive on Instagram? Because I hear about all these girls that they are constantly getting banned on Instagram.
Well, I've actually been taken down 3 times and 1 time on Twitter. So
oh, really?
Yeah, it actually has happened to me numerous times. My first Twitter account was actually banned. I'm not sure why exactly, but we were, well into the 20,000+ followers where I wake up one day and it was no mas. And I've had my Instagram flagged and taken down multiple times. Instagram is just a platform that just does not like, people who identify themselves as adult film talent, which is really weird because you see the lingerie model and, swimsuit girls and nobody takes them down. They just, they get, hundreds and hundreds, sometimes thousands of likes. But you see a girl who says, oh, I have OnlyFans and I do porn. And then for whatever reason, the Instagram people are like, not on our site.
Not on our site, honey.
It's the same stuff. She's on the beach in her bathing suit. She's posing in her laundry. It's the same stuff you're seeing, but because she's not wearing that for her husband or her boyfriend, we're like, no, that's not good, girl.
That is great. You can get more information, DanniDawson.mannyvids.com, by the way. If
Yes, lots of good stuff.
if you want to see what she is up to, and it is MZDANNI Dawson on the old Twitter machine. And
Yeah, Twitter is good.
well, you have got a heck of a following over there on Twitter with some of the various things that you're doing. I also see that you are a hockey fan. Talk to me a little bit about being a hockey fan and everything.
I love hockey. Like I'm definitely a huge sports buff. I love to go. I'm from California, so I'm definitely a diehard Kings fan. But the Kings are out, sadly. Lots of tears. We hope someday we'll get to that Stanley Cup. But go Vegas Knights. Like I'm so excited for the Knights, and the Stanley Cup. If they make it be around the time I'm going to Vegas, I'm hoping that I'll be rooting for them. In person.
That's awesome. So you have got quite the content up on the old your Twitter. Tell me a little bit about the feedback that folks give you on your stuff.
So far, it's been really, really good. And if you look at my early content with Jeff's models, you can see how I've really developed as a performer. I think my look is developed. You can definitely see I'm a lot more confident. And I think you're getting better quality content because of the fact that I'm producing it myself. It's the camera angles I think are good. It's what I think is hot. And that's what I want to share with you. So I think you can see that energy in my content. And so far, I'm getting really, really good responses. I get lots of, fan messages and things like that from the gentlemen who are loving it. And I appreciate that so much.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So primarily, where is your content posted? Because I know there are a lot of adult content creators that I talk to on a regular basis that they are either posting in one spot or they are posting all over the damn place.
Well, predominantly I use Pornhub, like my Miss Princess DD, which is my original handle back when I was on My Free Cams. We kept that, and then, after, it's funny, when I did Jeff's, I was Miss Princess DD as a cam girl for forever. And then when I did Jeff's models, Jeff said to me, he said, hey, you need a name. And then the DD became Danni Dawson. So that's how Danni Dawson was born, is I had to come up with something. He's like, well, I'm going to be putting this content up. You need a name. What's your name? So we went with Danni Dawson.
I need a content.
And it's funny because there's so many Dannys in the industry. Like you call me Danny Bank. There are so many.
Oh yeah, there's 65 different Dannys running around.
There's so many Dannys in the porn industry.
There's and then if you want to think about they're just all over the damn place.
Yeah. And also, just like me, so I can totally see how that mistake is made. It's so like, oh, well, never mind, you're Danny something else.
So, what is the Slutry Mistress Productions? What is the difference between that and your Danni Dawson deal?
So, Sultry Mistress Productions is actually my production company that has been in the works for the last couple of years. We just filed all of our corporate paperwork. And I'm going to go out and shoot other girls and do content. I have I want to do merch. I think Sultry Mistress is just such a sexy name. And porn girls really are your sultry mistress. They really are. You have your wife, you have your girlfriend, and then you have your little porn mistress. And I just think the name just works so very well. And I look forward to continuing to build that brand. I could see it being so many things, not just, adult content, but maybe a toy line or a lotion or, some hot oil candles, I just feel like it has so much potential, maybe even a wine. I'm a huge wine geek. So I could see having a sultry mistress red and white down the road. So I'm excited to, put all my energy and effort into that.
That is awesome. Well, I'll tell you, you've got just all sorts of cool stuff going on. Do you go to these exoticas or these fan expos or any of these things?
I have been a couple of times, and this will be my first AVNs coming up in January when it rolls around. for a while. When I first got into the industry, we went to everything. God, I was everywhere. It was on every red carpet, at every event, every party. I was everywhere. Yeah, I did Dr. Susie's for a really long time, so we were always at the compound for Dr. Susie's on her show.
Good old Dr. Susie. I love Dr.
Yeah,
Susie.
good old
She's
Dr.
great.
Susie. I love Dr. Susie. She's been great. She hosted my birthday party one year, and we had yeah, she did.
What in the world do you do with Dr. Susie at a birthday party? How in the world does this work?
It was really wild. She actually hosted, I guess I can tell people all of them. I'm going to be 40 this year. So Dr. Susie actually hosted my porn star 35th birthday. And we had it at the compound, and it was on her show, and it was wild and so much incredible fun. Lots of beautiful girls and people just having a great time. And like, we have a long history with the Dr. Susie show, and we've always had a good time. So
Dr. Susie. I love Dr. Susie. She's great.
It's funny, like, older guy friends know Dr. Susie. It's like the young generation doesn't know her, but they're all missing out on so much.
They're missing out on Dr. Susie, baby.
Yeah, you're definitely, they're missing out. But she was on, the Real Sex series on HBO, but that was like in the 90s. So like a lot of the younger generation, you weren't watching late night HBO then, so you don't know Dr. Susie.
That's right. That's right. I had a conversation with somebody the other day about some of the late night Showtime and HBO stuff from way back in the day. There was a lot of porn back in, or porn type content back in the day on HBO and Showtime and Cinemax and all that.
Oh yeah, Cinemax. Yeah, the Cinemax After Dark. You couldn't go wrong with that.
I'll tell you, there were some crazy, I guess it would be called softcore movies that were on Cinemax way back in the day. Some of those were fantastic. We have got a great guest with us today. You can see on the screen here, Ms. Danni Dawson. She is available on the Twitter machine, and she is doing all sorts of different things. So what is the secret to shooting some of your porn? Because I've seen a lot of online porn, and we've gotten into shooting some porn, and I'll tell you, watching your stuff and watching some of this other stuff, you guys know what the hell you're doing. Talk to me a little bit about how the way you put some of your stuff together.
A lot of times I kind of know what I'm doing, and then other times like I'll just have a concept, and then like I'll have like another industry friend. I'll be like, oh, I want to do this. What do you think? And they'll be like, yeah, do it. It's hot. So usually like I bounce ideas off other people. But when it comes to like, I know right now, like my score content is ridiculously popular, and that just kind of happened on accident. Like I was like, oh, maybe I should make a score video, and then they've definitely taken off, especially on Pornhub. Like that seems to be my most popular content, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm running out of places in my house where I could do it, where I could be fresh.
That is awesome.
Which is probably not a bad problem to have, but I'm like, well, where am I going to do this next? Where it's like, like I'm already like, at a point where I'm like, well, how many times can my imaginary boyfriend break up with me? And then I go squirt my pussy.
That is awesome.
I guess I'm going to have to be like divorced and horny. I'm going to have to, spice it up a little bit.
Divorced and horny. That is fantastic. Yeah. That's what we like to hear about here on the
divorced and horny. Yeah,
divorced and horny, baby. So, what are some of the things that you're planning on doing this summer with your content, or just in general?
I'm going out to Vegas. I'm going to shoot a bunch of new scenes and a new photo sets and stuff for like my OnlyFans and my mini vids. And then I want to take a little vacation, planning on going to like South Carolina. I just moved to the East Coast. I've only lived here, it'll be 2 years in July. So I want to go to Florida and do stuff like that. And I'm hoping to get out to the Virgin Islands and shoot some beach content, because that'll just be so much fun and so fire.
That is awesome.
But I definitely want to shoot more boy girl and girl girl. And then, from my own site that, we're under construction with, I definitely want to do some reverse gangbang, because I don't think the guys are getting enough love.
Reverse gangbangs.
I love the concept of reverse gangbang. I love having some dude who's maybe like not necessarily the best looking dude, but he's got 6 girls just ready to give it to him all at once. I love it. And I want to shoot a bunch of reverse gangbang. That is definitely like the one scene that I can't wait to put out as my production company. Let's just get some average looking dude.
Get some average looking dude.
Yeah, he has to be an average looking dude, because it doesn't work. An average looking dude. Like I think seeing more average looking guys in porn, it is fun, and you're seeing that as the industry is becoming more body positive. It's not just the girls, you're seeing the guys too, and I love that.
We have got a great guest with us today. She joins us live here on our big program. Ms. Danni Dotson is with us, and you can download our podcast over there on iHeartRadio, or you can find us at Skyhawk After Dark. Of course, it is fucking around with porn stars. We have got a great one with us today. You can also listen to us 12 p.m. Pacific, Saturday, 8 p.m. Pacific, or 8 a.m. Pacific, depending on what it says on the website. And, of course, JiggyJaguar.com for everything else. And Ms. Danni Dotson with us today. She is fantastic. You are quite the perv magnet, I will have to say.
Yes, I am.
You definitely are. You definitely are the definition of a perv magnet, I will have to say. So, when one of the things that, and I'm just amazed by all this. I'm glad they have all the security and all the safety and all this stuff. But I'll tell you, when I was starting to sign up to get these sites set up, holy smokes, what a mess that is.
Oh, yeah. it really is. The verification processes and stuff, it definitely is getting very extreme.
Where you're on ManyVids and some of these others have, and I don't know if OnlyFans does this. I know that Pornhub does this, which I guess. What is the deal with the oval, the face in the oval thing?
They're verifying that based on how you look on your driver's license, that is your face shape. Like,
okay, because I've been trying to figure out what the hell that's all about.
Yeah, I just did it last night for Chatterbait, because I was thinking about trying Chatterbait out, and I had to do that. I took my phone and I put it like right in my face and get everything lined up in the oval. And I was like, wow, this is really silly. But then they turned my verification around in literally 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, bam, you're verified. And I was like, wow, okay. I was like, okay.
Yeah, the face in the oval thing to me is like
crazy.
I can see just uploading the IDs. That's cool, and I'm glad they do that. But I don't know, the face in the oval thing really gets me on the.
Well, also, back in the day, you used to have to take a photo where you were holding it, so you'd be like,
yes,
you'd upload a picture, but then you'd have to be like,
oh yeah. And you gotta
by your face. They have all this electronic scanning. They just scan your face, and I guess they know it's you.
It's interesting. So Danni, looking at your Twitter and looking at some of the various things that you've got going on, how many damn toys do you own?
A lot. How many toys do I have? Probably 60.
Really?
And when it comes to lingerie outfits, I have stuff that's not even out of the box. I have so much stuff. And then if I go to an event or something, somebody will always give me something. So I always like end up with like boxes. Sometimes I have stuff like if I go to the West Coast, sometimes I end up having to ship dildos back to my house because everybody's like, "Oh, use my toy. Oh, try my lube. Do this, do that." And I'm like, "Yeah, I want it, sure."
It is the fantastic Danni Dawson. She's with us today here on our big broadcast. So, one of the things that I have been doing recently with a lot of different girls that we work with here that do the whole squirting thing. So how do you set this up to where, because like I'm looking at some of your different videos and you've got some stuff where you are like really, as the lovely and talented Britannia says, making a mess. You're you're making quite the mess here.
And I'm trying to work on making more mess. So like I'm practicing.
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out. Do you have to have a certain position that you are in to be able to get this thing really going, or how does that all work? Because there's been some girls that we've shot some stuff with that you could tell they're squirting, you could tell they're doing their thing, but it's not, I guess, as pleasing for the video.
That's true. Yeah, I kind of have to be kind of positioned, kind of upright, like when I shoot the videos that you're seeing right now. Except the one where I have that clip on my Twitter where like I'm in that tub, but you can still see that I'm kind of angled back. But when I shoot like on a bed or something, I kind of prop myself up on pillows, and then it becomes about making sure the camera angle is right because I want you to see, what I'm achieving, orgasm, of course.
Yes.
And, so it becomes about, the camera angle and making sure that you can, kind of see everything. And then, of course, you got to protect the floor and the surroundings
Oh,
as
yeah.
well.
Oh, yeah. You have to go out and get like a sex blanket or something.
A tarp.
You have to be
Plastic tarp, like I was going to paint the floor with squirt.
You have to be ready to go on one of those. So you've got this Vegas thing coming up. When do you go out there to do that?
I'll be there the 11th through the 14th of June, so just coming up.
Okay.
Very, very excited to head out to Vegas.
That's awesome.
Pool time, fun time, sex time. It'll be a good time.
So you're doing a lot of you're wanting to do a lot more boy girl, girl content. Where do you recruit some of the people to be in this?
Usually I look at their content and then I'll either reach out to them or they'll reach out to me. So it's usually people who have like established content themselves. If I don't work with a production company, if I work with like Jeff's Models or like Pure BBW, then they have their own talent that, the guy's just already there for me. But, social media, I mean, the porn community is a really tight-knit community. And, you'll see one girl who's had a good success with one guy, and then he's got a bunch of his content, and you kind of just peep on their content and see if that's the right person for you. And then you reach out and say hello. It's like giving you a handshake.
That's awesome. It's like giving him a handshake. It's like the porno version of a handshake.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, I really like what you do. Would you like to fuck me?
This is part of the reason why I like people like you, is that there's so many of these porn people that they're talking about collaborations or they're talking about content creators or whatever. And it's like, guys, we all know what we're doing here. And that's the thing I like about you, is that it's kind of like, yeah, you want to come fuck me? That's what we're doing.
The funniest come fuck me story is years ago I met Erin Green and her husband at the time, Steve. I don't know if they're still married. I haven't talked to them in a while. And she had a party at her house, and she reached out to me on Twitter, and I was coming to Las Vegas for my first trips to Vegas. And we were in their kitchen, and she's cooking something, and all of a sudden her husband comes in for a hug, and the hug leads to him going up my dress. And I was a little bit taken back by it, and I know we're all porn stars and everything. I was a little taken back by it because, here she is standing right there. And if somebody else's husband was going up some girl's dress in front of his wife, he'd probably get knocked out, right? And then she turned around to me. She said, "Do you want to fuck him?" And I was like, She was like, "Do you want to fuck him?" I said, "You can." And I was a little like, I didn't know what to say at first. And I was like, "You said you want me to fuck your husband?" And she said, "Yeah, go fuck him. Go take him to the bedroom. You can go fuck him." And that's just like, it was like, because I was so new to the industry, I didn't realize it was like that. But I was like, wow. I said, could you imagine if you were somebody else's dinner party and somebody said that to you? They were like, "Yeah, you want to go fuck my husband?"
Well, you know what I think is great, and I got to get Black Betty out of the way. She's jumped up on the desk here. But the thing that I've been trying to figure out is, around the time that I started doing the porn thing, I also started getting into the swinging world.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those worlds are kind of the same.
Yeah,
they're just kind of the same. It's like one hand washes the other kind of thing.
For sure. But I think swingers are so fun. I love
swingers are so fun. That's awesome.
I love the swinger lifestyle. Like, I'm not as much into polyamory because
I don't really understand that world.
Yeah, but when you have a primary, it's like, okay, so Bob is my primary, Jack is my secondary, and Lucy is my third. It's like, why aren't you just casual? Let's just, why does it have to be labeled?
Oh yeah, everybody's got, and I think this is, and I may get in trouble for this because, well, I get in trouble all the time. But
you're gonna be banned from the radio having me on.
There's so much of this, and I don't know where the hell this came from, but there's so much of this stuff where. And I don't know if it's the internet, if it's this crap with the phones, I don't know. But it seems that everybody has to be labeled, and everybody has to have, all their stuff. And so then it becomes, this huge mess where it's like, everybody's got to know my sexual orientation. Everybody's got to know that I'm a certain way. Everybody's got to have their roles, like you were saying. Well, this is my primary, and this is this person, and that, and it's like, guys, what are we doing? What?
Yeah, it's too complicated for me. It's just too complicated. It's like I have a hard time having a relationship with one person, let alone having to talk it out with four people at the same time about one person's feelings. But that's why I love the swinging world. You can go to the club with your whatever you want to call them, your primary, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your four girlfriends.
Yes.
And you just go have a good time. And and you go home and you move on with your night or your week.
Well,
and that's what
see, you mentioned earlier, we were talking about you're a big sports fan. You like sports and all this stuff, which I have found more porn stars that are gaga into sports fairly recently. I don't know what that's all about. but one of the things that I am a huge professional wrestling fan. I always have been. Huge. I'm a huge wrestling mark, even though I like to tell everybody I'm not a mark, even though I am. And every once in a while they'll do these documentaries or whatever on Ric Flair. And he'll talk about how he's got, wife number 3 has, this robe, and wife number 4 has this Rolex, and all these things. And I'm like, after being involved in like the swinger community and the as they call it, the lifestyle and all that, why wasn't Ric Flair just a fucking swinger?
He probably was. He just didn't, There's little kids holding your sign. Hey, I'm a swinger,
There's so many of these people.
Way, but wife number 1 has her pink robe, and wife number 2 has her blue robe, and wife number 3 is purple. And after, cameras are off and we're backstage. It's going down. We're Royal Rumbling in a different way.
Yes, yes. So, one of the things, you are fantastic, by the way. We will have to do this again at some stage of the game. Maybe when you get back from Vegas, you can give us a debriefing, as they say,
How I'd love to.
on how that all went down. By the way, if you're watching us on BitChute or Clout Hub or Rumble or, of course, on our fledgling YouTube channel, or Pornhub or XBiz, Danni has she's fantastic. She's well put together. Tell us about this jewelry you're wearing. This is pretty fucking cool looking.
I'm actually wearing a guest necklace that was a gift, and then Coach earrings for my son.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's almost 18, which is a little bit exciting yet nerve-wracking being in the adult industry.
You know, there are so many people that I know that are in the adult film industry or in the adult industry or what have you that have high-profile jobs or have children, and they're so worried. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like, well, with the children part of it, I guess if you're worried about them finding your content, I don't really know what to say.
Not that at all. Because honest, for me, my son's going to be 18 in September, and honesty is the best policy. And he has pretty much grown up in the adult industry, and he's very
That's
much
awesome.
aware.
That's
It's not a secret whatsoever, and there's no way. It's not like, on his 18th birthday, it's going to be like, "Hi, guess what? Mom's a porn star. That's how we pay the rent." No, it's not like that at all. But
that's how we pay the rent.
Yeah, no, it's not like that at all.
That's how we go to the pay window there, son.
Yeah, but he's going to be 18 in September, and AVNs is in January, and he's very, very much excited to go to his first AVNs. He's like, and
that's fantastic.
Yeah, so excited in a different way. Like, he doesn't want a male talent or anything, which is great, but he definitely is interested in the business side of the porn industry. So I'm really, really proud of him for being such a grounded, kid and not being like, I can't wait to be male talent. Because I was like, dude, there's no money on male talent. I'm going to be legit with you on that. Maybe it's fun, but there's no money on that. You need to make money to live. So, but yeah, he's just he's very excited to live like every young man's dream. Is I want to go to the AVNs and be with porn stars. And when you take
and be with porn
a
stars.
very 18 young man and put him with a lot of girls with no clothes on, young men will be young men.
I'll tell you, if this last year, myself, the lovely and talented Britannia, and of course, Big Will, your friend and mine, went to the AVNs, and it was Big Will's first AVN. And oh crap, he'd been to some exoticas and things, but he'd never been to an AVN. And as we all know, an AVN and an exotica are two completely different things.
Oh yeah, they're different animals.
So
when I see fearful when it comes to my son, it's just stuff he's never seen before because he's just not old enough. Even you could be 40 years old and go to your first AVN and be like, holy shit.
Yes. See, and see, this is the thing. I am trying to figure out how in the world, because I don't think it's going to be possible in an AVN. It might be possible in an AVN, but I don't know how some of these people go to these AVNs and then also shoot content while they're there. How in the fuck are you doing all this?
For me, I don't.
Well, you're smart. Yeah. That's part of it.
Yeah. Honestly, the thought, everybody's having a good time, right? AVNs is like the Oscars of porn. And everybody's having a really, really good time. And, you're drinking, you're partying, and you're hooking up. And not only that, you're hooking up and you're shooting content, too. And for me, the anxiety to having that anxiety of the possibility that this could be the time that all porn stars dread, for me, I never ever shoot content at any of those. I will continue to do so.
Yeah.
Never to do so the entire time. I'm going to mingle. I'm going to have a good time. But, my health is important to me and I don't want to risk it.
Yeah.
So that's just me personally.
Well, I really appreciate you making time. Thanks for doing this.
Absolutely.
You are fantastic. Before we let you go, how do we get in touch with you online, social media, all that?
Okay, well, you can follow me on Instagram or on Twitter at MZ Danny Dawson. You can also catch me on ManyVids. You get a lot of my content on there at dannydawson.manyvids.com. And then I'm Miss Princess DD on Pornhub, should you be a Pornhub user. And I'll see y'all online.
Well, that is awesome. Well, you are amazing. Thanks for doing this. And let me know when you get back from Vegas, and we'll get you back on, and we can debrief about what happened in Vegas.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. There she goes, the fantastic Danni Dawson with us today. She is amazing. And she joins us live here on our big broadcast, Fucking Around with Porn Stars, ladies and gentlemen. And that is that for this.